Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen, and enjoy my stories every day. The sunlight barely crept through the blinds as my phone erupted with a series of incessant vibrations. Groggily, I reached over, expecting the usual morning alarm or a text from work. Instead, the screen lit up with notifications from an unknown number. Each alert was an image shocking and inexplicable. Pictures of my wife Leah in a state of undress, each accompanied by taunts, "Now she's not only yours, you can slowly pack your bags and get out of her house." My heart pounded with a mixture of shock, anger, and disbelief. How dare someone send this to me? And the words, so confident, so mocking, it was almost as if they enjoyed rubbing salt into the wound. I sat up, throwing the sheets aside, my mind racing with confusion and rage. What was going on? Still trying to process the images, my phone buzzed again. Another message, this one a text. "Move on, buddy. She's mine now." That was at the tipping point. I jumped out of bed and stormed across the room. "This guy has no idea who he's messing with," I muttered to myself, fuming. The audacity to send me this and to think the house was hers? The house was mine, bought with my inheritance long before Leah and I married. Pulling on a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, I paced the bedroom. I needed a plan, something to turn the tables. This unknown rival was clearly gloating, thinking he had the upper hand, but he was wrong. Dead wrong. I went downstairs, made a cup of coffee, and sat at the kitchen table with my laptop. Opening a new document, I started outlining everything I knew about Leah's routines, her secrets, her lies, anything that could give me a clue about who this person was. As I was jotting down my thoughts, another idea sparked in my mind. If this guy wanted to play games, I'd ensure he'd lose, and lose big. "Let's see how much you like playing the other man when the stakes are higher," I muttered, a dark plan forming in my head. Determined, I grabbed my keys and headed to my car. It was time to pay a surprise visit to Leah's workplace. Maybe her colleagues could shed some light on this mystery lover. As I drove, the scenes of what I'd just seen flashed before my eyes, fueling my resolve. Pulling into the parking lot of Leah's office, I spotted her car. My grip tightened around the steering wheel. It's now or never, I thought. I needed answers, and I needed them now. As I approached the building, my phone vibrated once more. Another taunting message. Ignoring it, I pocketed the phone and pushed open the doors to the building. Today, I whispered to myself, is going to be a very interesting day. As I walked toward her office, my plan began to take shape. It wasn't just about confronting Leah or her lover. It was about reclaiming my life, my dignity, and setting things right. I knew it wouldn't be easy, and it certainly wouldn't be pleasant, but I was ready for whatever came next. The game was on, and I was not going to lose. The lobby of Leah's office is bustling with the morning rush, but I'm singularly focused as I bypass the reception desk and head directly to her department. The familiar scent of office coffee does little to calm my nerves. Today, I'm not just a visitor, I'm a man on a mission. I reach her office and hesitate at the door, my hand hovering over the knob. Taking a deep breath, I open it and step inside. The room is empty, her chair still tucked neatly under the desk. The personal touches she's added to the space: a framed photo of us from happier times, a vase of fresh flowers feel like jabs to my chest. Before I can get too lost in thought, a voice interrupts. "Can I help you?" I turn to see a young woman, probably in her mid-20s, standing in the doorway with a curious look. She's holding a stack of files and wearing a badge that reads Jessica, Assistant Manager. "Yes, I'm looking for Leah. Is she in yet?" My voice is steadier than I feel. Jessica shakes her head. "No, she usually comes in later on Tuesdays. Can I pass along a message?" There's a genuine helpfulness in her tone that disarms me slightly. I debate how much to reveal but opt for a middle ground. "Actually, I'm her husband. I need to discuss something important with her. It's urgent." Jessica's expression shifts to one of understanding, perhaps recognizing the strain in my eyes. "I see. Well, she might be at the partner meeting in conference room B. You might check there. Do you want me to show you?" Grateful for a lead, I nod, and we walk together down the corridor. As we walk, my phone vibrates incessantly, but I ignore it, my focus on the impending confrontation. Reaching the conference room, Jessica gestures toward the door. "Here we are. I hope everything works out, mister. Call me Mark. Thank you, Jessica. She nods and departs, leaving me to gather my courage. I press my ear against the door and catch snippets of conversation. Taking another deep breath, I push the door open. The room falls silent as I step in. Around the table sit several partners and senior staff, including Leah, who looks up in surprise. Mark, what are you? I think we need to talk, I say, my voice firm, cutting her off. I don't miss the glances exchanged around the table. Leah stands, her face a mask of concern mixed with embarrassment. Can it wait until after? No, it can't. I hold up my phone, showing her the screen briefly. Her face pales. We step outside into the hallway. Once the door shuts behind us, she whispers, "How did you get those pictures?" That's what I want to know, Leah. Who is he? My voice is low but intense. She hesitates, then her shoulders slump. Mark, this isn't how I wanted you to find out. Clearly, I interject sharply. It's just. Things haven't been right with us for a while, she starts to explain, but I'm not here for excuses. Leah, who sent the photos, my demand is clipped, my patience thin. It's complicated. He's not just someone I've been seeing. He's connected here. At work, her admission hangs heavy between us. I ponder her words, my mind racing. This complicates things further than I anticipated. I want names, Leah. Today. She bites her lip, clearly conflicted, but then nods. Okay, but not here. Meet me at the cafe across the street in 20 minutes. I nod stiffly and watch as she turns back to the conference room. My thoughts whirl as I exit the building. This isn't just about catching a cheater anymore. There's more at stake, and I need to stay one step ahead. As I cross the street, I know that whatever Leah reveals at the cafe will be just the beginning. I'm ready to dig deeper into this deception, prepared to face whatever and whoever comes next. The game has just changed, and I'm not backing down. The cafe across the street is buzzing with the late morning crowd as I secure a corner table, a strategic position that allows me a clear view of the entrance. The smell of roasted coffee beans fills the air, usually a comforting aroma, but today it barely registers. My mind is too focused on the upcoming conversation with Leah. As I wait, I replay our earlier conversation, trying to pick apart her words for clues. She mentioned he's connected at work. Who in her office would be brazen enough to not only engage in an affair but also taunt her husband? My hands tighten around the coffee cup as I spot her entering the cafe. Leah spots me and approaches with a hesitant gait, her usual confidence replaced by an uneasy tension. She sits down, avoiding eye contact as she orders a coffee from the passing waitress. Start talking, Leah. Who is he? I dive straight in, no time for pleasantries. She exhales sharply, her fingers tracing the rim of her coffee cup. His name is Alex. He's a consultant hired by my firm 6 months ago. Her voice is low, filled with regret. And you thought it would be a good idea to start something with him. I can't keep the bitterness from my tone. It wasn't planned, Mark. We were working closely, and it just happened. She looks up, her eyes pleading for understanding. That doesn't explain the photos, the messages. Why would he do that? I press, needing to understand the full scope of the betrayal. Leah shifts uncomfortably. He found out about the house, that it's in your name. He thought threatening you would make you leave, make it easier for him to move in. A cold laugh escapes me. Move in? Into my house? The audacity of it fuels a fresh wave of anger. Yes, I'm sorry. I told him it was over when I realized how out of control this was getting. That's when he sent those messages. She meets my gaze now, a trace of the woman I married visible in her remorse. I sit back, absorbing her words. Where does this leave us, Leah? What do you want? She bites her lip, then sighs. I want to fix this, if it's even possible. I know I've made mistakes, but I don't want our marriage to end over this. The waitress brings her coffee, and we both take a moment, sipping our drinks as I ponder her sincerity. All right, here's what's going to happen. I start, setting down my cup. I want every detail about Alex's background, what he's working on, everything. If we're going to salvage anything from this mess, I need to know what we're dealing with. Leah nods, understanding the condition. Okay, I can get that information. He's got a lot riding on a big project he's leading for the firm. Good. And one more thing I add, my mind forming a plan. We're going to need to present a united front. If he thinks he's divided us completely, he's got the upper hand. Her eyes widen, a mixture of surprise and dawning realization. You mean? Yes, we play along. Make him think he's winning until we figure out how to turn this around. Can you do that, I ask, my strategy taking shape? Leah nods, a flicker of her old fire returning. Yes, I can. For us, I can do that. We spend the next hour discussing details, crafting our plan meticulously. As Leah shares more about Alex's work and influence, the pieces begin to fit together, revealing not just a personal betrayal but a deeper, more dangerous game at play within her company. When we finally part ways, it's with a new purpose. I head back to my car, my mind racing with the strategy we've laid out. Today, Leah and I start playing a dangerous game, but I'm determined to win, for my dignity, our marriage, and to right the wrongs done to us. The battle lines are drawn, and I am ready. 2 weeks have passed since Leah and I began our counterplay against Alex, every step and every move carefully calculated. Our home, once a quiet sanctuary, has turned into a strategic war room, where we plot and plan our next moves after Leah comes home from work. Today, everything comes to a head. It's the day of Alex's big presentation, a project that could make or break his career at the firm. Leah informed me that the senior partners and stakeholders will be there. It's the perfect stage for our final act. We're sitting at our kitchen table, sipping our morning coffee. Are you sure you're ready for this, I ask, looking into Leah's eyes, searching for any last-minute hesitation. She nods, resolute. Yes, it's time everyone saw Alex for who he really is. Besides, we have our ace in the hole. Her lips curl into a slight smile, a spark of the old Leah shining through her. As we drive to her office, the plan is clear in my mind. I drop Leah off and park across the street, where I have a clear view of the entrance. Leah's role is to ensure Alex's arrogance takes center stage, letting his guard down just enough for the trap to snap shut. I don't have to wait long. Mid-morning, I see people starting to gather in the lobby through my binoculars. The time has come. I text Leah, it's showtime. Remember, act surprised. I make my way into the building and position myself just outside the conference room. Through the slightly ajar door, I hear Alex beginning his presentation. His voice is smooth, confident, even cocky. Perfect. At the crucial moment, I send a signal to a contact. I hired an expert in digital forensics who had been digging into Alex's communications at my request. The lights in the room flicker momentarily as the screen behind Alex changes from his presentation to a series of emails and texts, his communications with various contacts, revealing not only his affair with Leah but also shady dealings and bribes with competitors. The room erupts into chaos. Alex whirls around, his face draining of color as he reads the displayed messages. He stammers, trying to explain, but the evidence is overwhelming. The partners start shouting questions, their trust evidently shattered. Leah stands up, feigning shock perfectly. How could you, she exclaims, adding to the drama. She looks at the partners. I had no idea about this. I thought he was a reputable consultant. I step forward, making my presence known. Nor did I add, locking eyes with Alex, who looks back at me in betrayal and panic. The senior partner, Mr. Hammond, a stern man in his 60s, rises to his feet, silencing the room. Thank you, Mr. Thompson, for bringing this to our attention. We will handle it from here. He nods at me, then at security. Please escort Mr. Alex out. As security leads a defeated Alex away, Leah walks over to me, her expression softening. Thank you, she whispers, her hand finding mine. We did it, I whisper back, the relief palpable between us. But as we turn to leave, Mr. Hammond calls out. Actually, Mr. Thompson, a moment please. We pause, turning back. There's a matter of your wife's involvement. We need to discuss her future here, considering the circumstances. I nod, understanding the implications. But as we face this new challenge, I feel a weight lift off my shoulders. The deception is over, and now we can begin to rebuild, no matter what comes next. As we walk back into the conference room, Leah squeezes my hand, a silent vow to face whatever lies ahead together. The game was risky, the stakes high, but in the end, we played our parts to the last act. Now, it's time for a new beginning.